Hello, I'm from Reuters. China's financial deleveraging has tightened monetary conditions and led to a 47 basis point rise in average corporate lending rate last year. So I'm eager to know whether the PBOC is worried about the impact of rising borrowing costs on the economy, and whether it will continue to follow the Federal Reserve in raising interest rates this year. Related question on the currency: the yuan has rebounded this year, and capital flight east. So whether the central bank will lose capital controls and completely remove counter-cyclical factors in setting the yuan midpoint to pave the way for a clean flow of the currency. Thank you.
您好，我是路透社的记者。2017年，在金融去杠杆的背景下，中国非金融企业贷款加权平均利率上升0.47个百分点。企业融资成本的上升是否会影响经济发展？在高借贷成本可能影响经济增长的情况下，今年央行是否仍将跟随美联储脚步提升利率？中国政府是否将放松对资本外流的管制？在设定人民币中间价时，是否会完全取消使用逆周期因子？谢谢。
我先说一点，然后你补充了哈。这个全球经济呢，这个经过了在金融危机中啊，经过这么多年的这个艰难。
After a tough journey of financial disasters, the global economy is reassuring, and we have exit from the quantitative easing strategy for a lot of nations. This is actually generally a good thing. However, the low interest and the expanding of quantities is our general trend. And the impact of this trend is predictable. In terms of China, we have transitioned from the traditional development growth model into a quality-driven growth model. The old normal of quantity-driven is more about economic growth that's driven by the quantity. In the future, that kind of economic growth model will be lowered down. On the other hand, we mustn't lose sight of the total volume of currency is very large, and that will reduce the traditional growth model that's highly rely on investment. And the currency basket will be made for use of effectively. That doesn't necessarily mean that we will have a very tight use of expenditure. In terms of our currencies, it will go up in terms of both quantity and quality, and they will also be lowered down. In this case, I think the policies of foreign currency exchange rate, we will have relative policies, and the foreign exchange rate increased 0.4%. Our CPI increased a little bit, and PPI also increased 6.3%. The real interest rate has stabilized, and the actual interest rate matters more. And it is also go in accordance with our currency volume. Just as you mentioned that the Federal Reserve is about to increase its interest rate. However, our policy is mainly in accordance with our domestic economic situation, and we will have a general consideration of both domestic and international situation. Our foreign exchange is generally stabilized, and we will push forward to a stabilized policy of foreign exchange rate. Thank you. In your question, you mentioned that in our next step, what's our policies and measures in terms of foreign reserve. We have been through high risk in terms of foreign exchange reserve, and we will have a set of macro control in foreign capital inflow and outflow. We have increased our risk management reserve, and also our bidding model in terms of yuan to US dollar. Since 2017, our foreign capital flow and also foreign exchange reserve is generally in balance and also stabilized. The main transaction practice in the market also is stabilized. And we have exited our macro control. Also, in the midterm of 2017, the authority launched a directory in terms of foreign investment, and it is going transparent and publicized. Also, in terms of the supervision of counter-legal behavior, we will strengthen our supervision that is mainly focused on fraud, black transaction, and also we will enhance our supervision from the regulators. This will not be different due to different cycles. It will remain consistent. Thank you.